There's a train in Japan you're not allowed to buy a ticket for. It doesn't matter how much money you have, you cannot just book a seat. Because the most exclusive luxury trains on Earth have quietly made the money the easy part. This is a list of 5 of them. Trains where one suite costs more for a single night than a penthouse. Where an entire carriage is a private apartment with a butler at the door. Where a single journey crosses 5 countries over 2 weeks. And on 2 of them, the price isn't even the hard part, because you can't board at any price. You apply, and a draw decides who gets on. We start with the strangest one of all, Tokyo, Ueno Station. Somewhere inside it is a platform ordinary passengers never get to see. Platform 13.5, built for one single train. That train is champagne gold, 10 carriages long, and it carries a maximum of just 34 guests. 17 private suites. 2 observatory cars walled entirely in glass. A piano bar. A dining car with a Michelin-starred chef cooking as the landscape slides past. It's called the Train Suite Shiki-Shima, and here's the part that stops people cold. You can't simply pay for it. JR East's own booking guide tells you to submit an application, and then, quote, if there are more applications than space available, participants will be selected in a draw. Not first come, first served. A lottery. They won't even tell you how the draw works. Lose it, and you go on a waiting list. How long are those odds? For the very first trip back in May 2017, only about 1 in 76 applicants got a place. And the train sold out through the following March, before it had ever left the station. The fares aren't gentle either. They run from around 440,000 yen up to nearly 2 million yen per person for the journey. Roughly $3,000 to $13,000 a head, depending on the suite and the season. And building the thing? It was forecast to cost in the region of 5 billion yen, about $44 million, for 10 carriages that sleep 34 people. Do the math with me. If that forecast held, that's more than $1 million for every single bed on the train. So that's a train you can't buy your way onto. The next one, you can, if you'll pay more for a single night than a lot of people pay for a car. Europe now, the Venice Simplon-Orient-Express. And this one is a genuine time machine. Belmond runs it on the original carriages, real Compagnie Internationale des Wagons-Lits sleeping cars from the 1920s and 30s, restored down to the René Lalique glass panels and the Art Deco marquetry. The real thing, not a replica. And one of those carriages has a story. Sleeping car 3309 got stranded in a snowdrift for 10 days back in 1929. That actual incident is what inspired Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express. And you can book that exact car and sleep in the room the legend came from. Now the price. A grand suite on the one-night Paris to Venice run starts at £12,300 per person. That's roughly $16,000 for a single night on a train. And it's per person, so bring a companion and you're buying 2 of them. Want the headline journey? The Paris to Istanbul crossing lists a grand suite from £63,000 per person. That's among the most expensive scheduled train tickets anywhere on Earth. Though, to be fair, that fare does include 5 hotel nights along the way. Still, $16,000 for one night, in a carriage older than most of the countries it rolls through. Quick question while we're on board. Of these 5, which one would you actually spend the money on? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one, and honestly, the answers to these always end up becoming their own video. Now to India, and the single biggest room on this entire list, the Maharajas Express. And there's a twist before we even get to the suite. It's run by IRCTC, a company owned by the Indian state. The government runs this train. It has exactly one presidential suite. It's called the Navratna, named after the 9 precious gems. And it doesn't just have the best cabin on the train. It is a carriage. The whole thing, end to end, 448 square feet, 2 bedrooms, a living room, bathtubs, and a personal butler around the clock. So what does the state charge you to ride in it? For the coming season, the presidential suite runs $26,800 per person, twin share, plus tax, for a 7-day journey like the Delhi to Mumbai route. Entry-level cabins on the very same train start around $8,400. Which means a couple in that suite pays over $53,000 for the week, before tax. And this is the part I can't get over. That's on the same national railway whose ordinary sleeper tickets, the ones that tens of millions of people ride every day, cost a few dollars. Same railway, same government, One ticket is a few dollars, the other is 53,000. From the biggest room to the longest ride. Rovos Rail. They call it the Pride of Africa, and its Cape Town to Dar es Salaam run crosses 5 countries over 15 nights. One of the longest scheduled luxury train journeys in the world. 2 full weeks on rails, through 5 borders, off the edge of most maps. The Royal Suite on that route runs $28,600 per person this year. Deluxe is $21,800, and the entry-level Pullman is about $16,500 a head, and that's the cheap seat. 2 full weeks, 5 countries, and that's still just the entry point on this list. If numbers like these are the reason you're here, the real prices behind the world's most extreme things, do me a favor and subscribe. We dig one of these up every couple of days, and the next one is already being built. Which brings us right back to Japan, and a second train you have to win. JR Kyushu's 7 Stars has been running since 2013, and it has sold its places by lottery from the very beginning, simply because far more people apply than there are berths. Nobody even publishes the odds. They don't have to. The cheapest 7 Stars journey starts around 680,000 yen per person sharing. But take a deluxe suite by yourself on the longest route, and it climbs to 2,770,000 yen, roughly $18,000 plus. Arguably the most expensive regular train ticket in all of Japan. And the prize cabin? Deluxe Suite A. It sits right at the very tail of the train, and it has a panoramic rear window that runs the full width of the carriage. So from your own private room, you watch the whole railway unspool behind you, all the way to the horizon, mile after mile. If you know someone who swears a train is just a way to get from A to B, send them this one. Gently ruin it for them. One last train. And it's the odd one out, because it's the only one on this list that's being given up. The British Royal Train. 9 carriages. In service since 1977. The private train of the monarchy itself. And it's being retired by 2027. Why? The palace's own accounts told on it. One trip up to Staffordshire came out at £44,822. 2 journeys in a single year cost £78,000. Buckingham Palace's own review called the money needed to keep the train running unjustifiable. And the royals are switching to helicopters. Sit with that for a second. Every other train on this list, people are lining up to get on. Entering lotteries, paying $53,000 for a week. Flying across the world for a single carriage. And the one family that never had to win a draw for a private train just quietly decided it wasn't worth the money. Here's the thread running through all 5. These trains cost more for one night than a penthouse. One suite is an entire apartment. One journey is 15 nights and 5 countries. And the 2 most exclusive of the whole list, the 2 in Japan, you cannot buy at any price. You apply, and a draw decides. The money gets you to the door. It just doesn't get you through it. If you enjoyed this one, go ahead and tap the like button. It genuinely tells the algorithm to show this to more people who'd love it. And if you want more of the things the ultra-rich paid a fortune for, and, in one case, came to regret, I've got one waiting for you on screen right here. Go see it. See you in there.